is Something for the Weekend with me, Stephen Day.
Me, Fiona Scott.
Me, Ellis Butcher.
And me, Kathie Griffiths.
Coming up later in the podcast, we have Kathie and her interview with Sally Weir from Mull Safe and Sound about why it's good to talk. The project is doing huge work over there and is about to start up a men's group in addition to all the other groups it's running. All online, and of course, at the moment. Fiona has news from Manran and will also be giving us a tune. I'm assuming that's from Manran, not Fiona. And Ellis will be presenting us with another Scottish Word of the Week. And we'll have a chat about a wee fringe event that's happening on the 5th of April. It's cutting edge, not to be missed. Stay tuned. But first, we're going to talk about spring. What do we think of spring, folks?
Boing! Sorry, couldn't resist.
It's lovely. Especially today because the sun's shining brightly. But my garden's now full of daffodils, primroses, just all colours. It's beautiful.
Oh, can we come round? We could come round, couldn't we? Come and sit in your garden.
Well, can we? Are we allowed?
You can, one at a time now.
We can form an orderly queue.
Yes. You'll have to phone at the gate and I'll let you in.
You and your gated community.
And can we get anything from cafes yet? Or am I missing something? Is that still to come?
That's still to come on the 26th.
26th. How many days is that?
Hospitality sector to reopen with cafes, restaurants and bars able to serve people outdoors in groups of up to 6 from 3 households. So me, Kathie and Fiona will be able to go for a coffee.
Hey.
What about me?
Meanwhile, Steevie will be sat with a flask of his own at some distance away.
A flask of his own
whiskey.
what? Sorry. Do I just have to sit there with some water and a bit of dry bread and look sad?
Oh, Steevie.
With seagulls on your shoulders.
How come you three get to go? Who chose me? Is it because I'm sitting in here twiddling all the stuff and making it work?
It's because we established the Kathie trio last summer. And it's the 3 amigos.
Oh, I'm feeling really sorry for Steevie
Oh, no,
now.
actually, the 3 amigos, the film, they've got one in it called Day, haven't they? They've got one called Lucky Day.
Yeah, but
Lucky Day.
I'm still number.
That could be a new nickname, Steevie.
It could be.
I think if Lucky Day's having to sit there with a flask of water and some stale bread, he's not so lucky.
I think we should be kind. We'll split up and go in 2-2s.
Ooh,
That's an idea.
do we have to wear tutus?
Only if you insist, Steevie.
Well, you know.
Just before I forget as well, you can get carry-out coffees at the moment from the places that are doing takeaway.
Right, but not
My
cake.
heart jumped then when she said carry out, but I didn't realise it was coffee.
Can you get cake? Can you get good, decent cake, Fiona? That's the thing.
Oh, yeah, because there's cake and there's cake, isn't there?
There is.
So, yeah, the place I was thinking about for carry-out coffee doesn't necessarily do proper homemade cake. So, well, maybe just wait. We'll wait till the 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hold off for the cake, I think.
Now, does the 26th also include the dreaded local word? Because some of our restrictions have been lifted, but we're still advised to stay local. Is that right?
April the 2 is when we can stop staying home and start staying local. But I got confused with this because I actually thought that we were to stay local anyway.
So you've been out, have you? That's what you're confessing to.
I live quite a way outside. As you know, I'm down at Benderloch. So I have to go to Oban to get my shopping.
Yeah, well, that's an essential visit, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you're still within your council area.
Yeah.
So
that's
local.
what I thought local was. Mm-hmm. So I thought, because you were allowed to travel for exercise as well, as long as you stayed within your council area.
Yes, I think that was the thing, wasn't it? For essential trips, really, you were supposed to sort of, you were allowed to go somewhere like sort of Oban, but really
exclusive here.
Stay at home. Really stay at home. That's the message. Anyway,
I
we're all
hope there's
getting
no police listening.
I haven't been any further than Oban.
You are required to go to Oban to get your shopping, so you're fine.
Yes.
Because you need to eat.
Yes.
You're all right.
I think I'm right in saying I could also drive down in Oban and down to Ganavan and go for a swim because that's exercise.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to travel for exercise.
Yep. April the 5th is a red letter day for some folk, isn't it? What's happening
sure
April
is.
the 5th?
April the 5th.
it's
It is, but wait till you hear where me and Fiona have got blooming hair appointments. I haven't got one until May the 7th, but that's good because Fee, when's yours?
June the 10th.
What?
We're going to be like the Hair Bear bunch.
That was my choice, Ellis. My
was it?
hairdresser's still in the Borders now. I absolutely love Oban and Argyll. I love living up here, and I'll probably not move away, but I do like my hairdressers down in Hoyk. So yeah, I'm waiting till I can not stay local and travel down there and get my hair done.
Wow.
What about you, Stevie? Stevie's maintained his anyway. He's cheated.
Well, I have cheated. I gave my darling Debbie the option of me doing my own hair with clippers and just running a number 2 all over, or she could have a go. And she much preferred have a go than me running wild with clippers, which I think is probably quite sensible.
Well, she's done a very good job, actually.
I think so. I think she's done
an
very
excellent
well.
job. You would not know. I don't like all these fellas out there that don't have curly hair that can have theirs very groomed. Mine looks like an osprey's nest in the morning.
Oh.
You know, like one of those that have got a camera pointed at it with massive twigs everywhere. That's what my hair looks like in the morning.
Where do you get the twigs from, Ellis?
Yeah.
What?
Where'd you get the twigs from?
Twigs?
Yeah, your twigs in your hair.
Well, it's just so wild and...
Oh, there's not actually twigs in it.
No,
then?
there's not actually twigs in it.
Right.
It's just-
Actually, I thought
Can you
you had
imagine
a
a big osprey nest?
yeah,
That's what
with
it
twigs
looks like
in
the
it.
morning. Yeah, with twigs in it.
Yeah, wow.
And a couple of eggs.
It is Easter after all.
Oh, isn't it just?
Remember, you can contact us by email, somethingfortheweekend@obantimes.co.uk, or message us on Facebook or Instagram if you'd like to get in touch, and we do love it when you get in touch. And now, music from Fiona.
Ta-da! It's not actually music from Fiona, so you can take your lumps of cheese out your ears for a while. This is trad rock band Manran, who should have been taken in the beautiful surroundings of Lochaber this weekend with their first 10 by the Ben festival. Obviously, that got cancelled, so instead they're marking it with an online concert, which is taking place on Saturday, April the 3rd, and it starts at 7 p.m. So, over the last year, the band has been focusing its efforts on writing and arranging a new album, which will be released later this year. And the online concert will showcase some of their new material, as well as a back catalogue of the band's hits from across the last decade, including this one, which is called Hookin', which apparently means to us.
Who can call it in? Oh, who can be more who? Bewaarde maar wie taal, wie in is de gade. Who can call it in? Oh, who can call it in? Oh, who can be more who? Kumi me je bois, que senti que moi. Who can call it in? Oh, who can call it in? Oh, who can be more who? Kan alle winkel praten, weet ik al de waar. Who can call it in? Oh, who can call it in? Oh, who can niet meer heen? Ook in van gehaast, dan chicken te een praat. Who can call it in? key is cloud, who can call it in? Oh, who can call it in? Oh, who can be more who? Now while you're in and trying, beheave is always mine. Who can call it in? Varför ska det vara din kläd? Who can call it in? Oh, who can call it in? Oh, who can be more who? Säger upp på hur, vad du går och hur? Who can call it in? Healer
So there we go. And I should mention as well that comedian Ray Bradshaw will open the show on the online show on Saturday night, and then followed by Manran. So if you want a laugh, you can pop into that. That starts at 7:00, and you can get tickets from the Manran website at www.manran.co.uk.
That sounded excellent. That was a really good thing for a weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks very much to Manran, and it was Gary Innes for allowing us to play that.
That was brilliant. Thank you, Gary. And do you know, we get all kinds of interesting music on here, don't we?
Oh, we get some great stuff. A wide variety. We're eclectic.
We are.
So yes, if there's anybody listening out there that wants to send us a tune, please feel free to do so.
Yep, we'd love to hear from you.
And in the meantime, I might be able to help us out there because I was
going to sing.
Oh, you wish. You wish.
Next week, Kathie. Next
week, maybe, possibly. No, I've been chatting to somebody who plays the xylophone, and we're going to hear from them pretty soon. But actually, it's a lovely lady called Sally Weir, and she's involved in the Mull Safe and Sound project. So we caught up this week, and we were chatting about why it's so good to talk and about the work that this amazing group are doing over there on Mull. And listen out for the xylophone bit. Here we go. Hi, Sally from Mull Safe and Sound. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Kathie. How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm okay. It's nearly the weekend, so I've got that giddiness. It's coming upon me. So, feeling good.
I like how you think Wednesday's nearly the weekend.
Don't tell people we're recording this on a Wednesday. Every day should be a weekend, though, shouldn't it? Let's face it.
Oh, every day. There you go. Rule one broke.
So it's really good to chat to you. And chatting and having conversations is something that's really important to Mull Safe and Sound. So I'll let you explain a little bit about what you've been doing and some new things that are happening. I know you've got a men's group that will be starting up soon if it hasn't already started. So just tell us all about the project.
What we've been doing is we've been going for about 5 years anyway, and we have regular groups up and down Mull and in-person groups. But obviously with lockdown last March, we took all our groups online, well, our mental health groups anyway. And we had started the peer support about 2.5 years ago. And that was because I could see a real need when people came to our in-person groups, a real need for people to talk a little bit extra about their mental health, because our regular groups are chat, piece of cake, how are you doing, what's getting you down, how can we build you up? But sometimes people want that little bit extra and more mental health focused chat. So I started You in Mind, like I say, about 2.5 years ago, and that was just a little side group that ran alongside our regular groups. And it was for about an hour. People could come and sit down, have a chit chat. And then I took my kind of lead from what the groups in Oban were doing, Martin's Monday Club, and a couple of groups down in Glasgow, like Brothers in Arms, Mind the Men, groups like that, who were doing their peer groups in the evening. So I started a Wednesday weekly in-person You in Mind mental health peer support group, which a lot of people came to. Some people have come throughout, some people have dipped in and out of the group. And then when we moved online, it was really lovely to see those same people coming over to the online chat, because it's a really difficult thing. You know, it's really special sitting in the same room as another person when you're talking about how you feel, what you've gone through, you know, what things you're thinking. And I thought it was very brave for people to trust that we would still have the same connection during the Zoom groups. So we started that last March, April, and it has kept going. It's been a lovely bridge every week for people to come along and really talk about how they're coping, and for people to share with one another, because that's what peer support is all about, is, you know, people coming with lived experience to share it amongst other people who actually really get where you're coming from. And that shared experience often leads to so much support and information, whether it's tips on, you know, I find going for a 10-minute walk really helps me, or, you know, people talk about the medications, the therapies that they're having or have had. And so we did that every week. And then it was notably a lot of men were coming, which was wonderful. And I kept my eye on that. And then I thought, right, we need a Monday group for just a regular open house. Anyone can come along, because we really miss our members who would come to our regular groups. And the majority of them were elderly, or are elderly. And we miss seeing them and checking in with them. And you get so much, like I say, from sitting in the same room as people. So I started that Monday. So we had a Monday and a Wednesday group. So Monday was open house. Wednesday was mental health focused. And then it was that real, okay, these gentlemen need their own space. And I've been wanting to get a men's group going for about 3 years. Not being a man, I felt it was best that it was male-led, their ideas, you know, you get in boots first and make it their own. So as we see in the Oban Times newspaper, we've got David and Grant, who are our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful facilitators. They bring a lot of experience. So Monday quickly turned into the men's group, and it is well attended, regularly attended, and they've really created, from what I can tell, because I don't ask what goes on, I just say, you know, give us the general feel. And it seems to be a really great supportive, put the world to rights space for men to really, really just talk, because it's so difficult. You know, a lot of men feel they have to be strong, man up, boys don't cry, all of this unhelpful dialogue around men and their emotions and their mental health. So it's really good that we've now got this new group, and as soon as we can get in person, then I know Grant and David will be setting up an in-person space for men to come along and, you know, sit side by side.
That's fantastic news. And Mull, it's a massive island. Obviously, you've got sort of connections with Iona as well. How, you know, when people come along to these meetings, I know you can have your in-person meetings set up since you can over COVID, but you know, do people worry a little bit? I mean, it's the same in any rural areas about, oh, if I go, people are going to sort of label me as having issues. And is there a way of overcoming that?
It's really difficult, and I totally understand what you're saying, Kathie, because there is that stigma attached to coming along to a support group. It's funny because Mull Safe and Sound it's got two sides. We've got our regular afternoon groups, which, like I say, is just come along for a chat. It's more of a companionship atmosphere. And then we've got, you know, the mental health focused. So people seem to come along quite readily to the regular afternoon groups because it is just sit, chat. Cake is compulsory, biscuits are compulsory. It's, you know, you don't get in the door unless there's some cake on offer. But when it comes to mental health, as I think with anywhere, there's still that stigma of there's something wrong with you if you seek support. And living in a small place, I know Mull's quite a large island, but this still has that stigma of, will people see me going to that group? And so we're trying really hard to be as open as we can be, you know, to say, look, we know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. I first went to Mull Safe and Sound as someone who needed to go to a group like Mull Safe and Sound. I went to the very first meeting because I didn't go out and didn't have contact with people, and it's been a lifeline for me. So I understand when people have that anxiety and, you know, don't want to be seen to be going to a group, but I feel it's the bravest people that put their hand up, as difficult as it can be, to say, actually, yeah, I could do with a bit of support, or, you know, can I just have a chat? So hopefully with time, and like I say, we've been going 5 years, it's a slow and steady journey, but we'll get there. We will. I think the more we can be visible and, you know, show people that we're here and it's okay to talk. I think now in the media and on social media, people are having conversations and actually going, oh, yeah, I go to a support group and I found it's really helpful. But just that initial first step from being at home thinking, right, you know, I need something more. The step from that to actually coming into a room or coming to an online meeting, that will be the most difficult thing that anyone will do. And it is all okay from then on. I think once people realise, and the feedback that we've had when people have been so anxious, and I understand that, I really do. Anxiety comes, not just the mental kind of worry, but your body reacts. You know, we all know about, you know, when we're shaking, when we're nervous, but when you're really anxious about going to something like this, which is a big step if you've been coping on your own as best you can with your mental health, we understand that it's difficult physically and emotionally to come along. But like I say, it's the hardest step, but it's the best step that anyone can take, is just go, right, I'm going to close my eyes and do it. That's what we want.
And I understand there's also a little bit of light-hearted entertainment at the end of your Wednesday sessions, Sally. You're a little bit of an artiste, a little bit of a musician of sorts, of very strange sorts. So, yeah, there's so we'll give our listeners a bit of a clue. It's a very colourful little instrument and involves a stick and a few keys. So do you want to take it away?
Okay.
It's a xylophone, just in case people can't think of the name, but there you go.
I know.
Oh, Sally, that was beautiful. Well done. Well done. Well done. So how did that come about? How did the xylophone come about?
Well, what happened was obviously during my Wednesday weekly peer support group, we talk about everything. You know, there's nothing off limits, and it's a safe space where we share. And so we do discuss some very difficult and challenging subjects and emotions. And I think it's always good, and it's kind of our philosophy anyway at Mull Safe and Sound. We always like to have people leaving with a smile on their face and feeling just that little bit lighter. So it kind of evolved over the years. I started doing at the end of the group a gratitude and positivity section, and that is I get everybody to say one thing they are grateful for and make a positive statement about themselves. And so that was great. We had, that was lovely, but I felt I needed a bit of a transition from, the difficult chat to the, okay, this is kind of, this is our little feel-good section. So I needed something a bit Heidi-high, a bit Gladys Pugh, I think her name was. And my lovely Grant, he offered up this beautiful plastic rainbow-coloured instrument, and it just really took off. I don't mind being daft, Kathie, and if it gives people a bit of a giggle and a bit of joy, then let's go for it. And so it's kind of turned into an ending where I say, right, okay, now we do our feel good section, and it's kind of turned into right, caller number one, please, can you name? And then we do this little transition with the xylophone, and it's giggles and daftness and joy, basically. So yeah, my classical training has been extensive, as you could tell.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Sally, for taking the time out to chat with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kathie.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, what a talented lady.
Wow.
Oh, she's such a great character, and happy to talk openly, and they're just doing such a great job out there, on Mull, because wherever you are, Mull, Oban, wherever, it is good to talk, to open up. Let those feelings flow, people. Don't bottle them up.
Well, she certainly cheered us up. Well done for that. Enjoyed that.
Good.
Kathie, just on a lighter side here, just how easy is it to record a xylophone over Zoom?
It's not easy at all. It's horrendous. We did a few takes. I think Zoom kept cutting her out because they thought it was just some weird, strange interference kind of noise. And actually, it was poor Sally trying to play a xylophone. But we got there in the end.
That's a note to everyone out there who's trying to record a xylophone by Zoom. Probably best not to. And don't forget, you can read our stories online at www.opentimes.co.uk. You can subscribe to our page-turning digital edition there as well. And you can find more podcasts like this one and all kinds of other wonderful photos, videos and stories. Ellis, we're nearly at the end, but it's your turn. It's your Scottish Word of the Week.
Well, actually, this week it's not going to be a word, it's going to be a phrase.
Ooh.
Your bum's out the window.
Excuse me?
What's out the window?
Your bum's out the window. Your bum's out the windy.
Are we saying buns with a N on the end?
Sadly not.
You can't. I don't think you can say the BUM word out loud.
She can. We're all grown-ups here.
Well, does this need to be interpreted? It just sounds like it's what it says on the tin.
Is it the same as winging it?
What does it mean? So if somebody said that to you, your bum's out the window.
You're out. You leave this house. You're not coming back.
Or you're very cheeky.
You've had it.
Fiona's keeping quiet.
Well, I just think you've had it. That's it. You've had it.
You're talking rubbish. Not you, Fiona. That's what it means. You're talking rubbish. Another one that I like, dead quick, is... The sky was black as the Earl of Hell's waistcoat.
Ooh, I like that.
Like that.
Yeah.
What do you call a man with a seagull on his head? Cliff.
Oh, for goodness sake!
What do you call a girl with a lily on her head? Oh no, I got it wrong. It's supposed to be a frog.
What do you call a frog with a...
What do you call a girl with a frog on her head? Lily.
Lily. Oh dear.
He's here all week.
Yeah, unfortunately. We'd love to hear what you think of our podcast, so don't forget to email us or email Ellis directly with your jokes. That's somethingfortheweekend@obantimes.co.uk or message us through our Instagram or Facebook. That's all we've got time for, folks. We're going to have to go.
Where are we going?
Well, I think we should probably leave the listeners to find something more interesting to do.
All right, I'm off.
So, for now, it's goodbye from me, Stephen Day.
Bye from me, Fiona Scott.
Bye from me, Ellis Butcher.
And goodbye from me, Kathie Griffiths. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.